For a second straight year, the Pittsburgh Steelers exited the playoffs with a wild card loss and entered the offseason without a clear starting quarterback. With Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Kyle Allen only under contract through the 2024 season, the Steelers' quarterback cycle is poised to reset again after yet another fruitless revolution.
Stuck is kind of a helpless feeling, and I don't know that I feel helpless.
Steeler Art Rooney II said his preference is to sign either Wilson or Fields to a multi-year deal. Both quarterbacks have expressed a desire to return to Pittsburgh, but only one is likely to be in black and gold in 2025.
I think both of them see themselves as starters, and I don't know if they want to share the same job again next year.
But quarterback isn't the only position that faces uncertainty. Running back Najee Harris is set to be a free agent after the team declined his fifth-year option a year ago, and the wide receiver room continues to lack depth behind the talented yet volatile George Pickens. Once seemingly on the cusp of breaking a cycle of mediocrity, the Steelers now appear stuck in neutral and no closer to ending a nearly decade-long playoff win drought.
Thanks to Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor for that. And obviously, this is a huge question. Can they end that 6-game playoff losing streak, the longest in team history that Brooke referenced? They do have some money to play with, which is always good. Nearly $55 million in projected cap space. That ranks 8th in the NFL. Listen, you can't fault them for trying. And they got both players at a bargain price with Russ and Justin. What are you hearing about their plans at quarterback?
Well, Hannah, there is a sentiment internally for Justin Fields. There is some support there among coaches and players for a potential re-sign. I think both sides are open to it. Fields wants a clear runway to be able to start somewhere for 17 games. Last year, he knows he didn't have that because of Russell Wilson's presence. And he could have options. The New York Jets could get involved. Several others could be involved in Fields' free agency. Now, Russell Wilson has made it clear he wants to be back in Pittsburgh. That's his priority. He could have options as well. You look at the New York Giants, could be a potential sleeper for him. So one of those two will likely sign with Pittsburgh. It's going to come down to the Steelers making a hard choice over the next 3 weeks. They have no quarterbacks on the roster right now. They have to do something.
Have to do something usually leaves you with a difficult decision, and maybe the choice they could make that would be out of the box for them if they want to break this cycle of not winning playoff games is going after Aaron Rodgers, because the formula for what the Steelers do on offense fits what Rodgers does best at this point of his career, which is protect the football. The Steelers 35-13 over the last 4 years when they turn the ball over 0 times or 1 time in a game. They are 3-16-1 when they turn the ball over twice or more. Everyone's better when you protect the football, but the Steelers, it's a significant difference. And Aaron Rodgers, last 10 games of the season, 18 touchdowns, just 4 picks. Again, he's not the Aaron Rodgers of 5-10 years ago, but he can protect the football. He knows where to go. For the Steelers, it's not going to cost you a ton of money. You don't really have any path to other alternatives. Why not take that swing and try to build your team around the defense and special teams and protecting the football on offense?
Well, one reason I would say why not is that the last couple years, historically, you're right, Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over, but the last couple years, we've seen double-digit turnovers when he's had a full array of games to be played. I think if we're going to take a swing, go take a swing at Matthew Stafford. I mean, that's the guy who you talk about plug and play, physical, tough, all those things you talk about. I think that's going to be the key. If Matthew Stafford, there's been talks about maybe potential trade. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But if he's available, I think that's who you go and get if you're Pittsburgh. You have dominant players on the defensive side of the ball. Your offensive line is getting better. They're very young, guys like Zach Frazier, guys like Mason McCormick. I think that's the area you need to prove as well. But get a guy like Matthew Stafford and almost negate some of the struggles that an offensive line can have. Why? Because he's great at calling audibles, adjusting plays, getting the ball out quick if he needs to. So for me, I think if you're going to make a big splash, go and splash over in L.A. and go get Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if Matthew Stafford is available, and there's a lot of rumors coming out of Los Angeles that they're having conversations there about Matthew Stafford possibly being traded or not willing to get that deal done, makes total sense. This is a win-now team for the Pittsburgh Steelers. T.J. Watt is on the wrong side of 30. They have veterans like Minka Fitzpatrick, Cam Hayward. They want to win with those guys right now, and that defense has played well enough for them to be a Super Bowl contender for the last several seasons. Matthew Stafford is not going to be your guy for a long time if you're Pittsburgh, but they don't have a short-term or a long-term answer if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. So absolutely, I think you lean into that and you make that trade if Matthew Stafford does come available.
Right. If you're going to bring in Rodgers, I mean, he's 41, you're just buying time, right, at this point. And they were rolling until they ran into that absolute gauntlet of 3 elite teams in 10 days, and then they just fell off a cliff. So there's a lot of good things happening in Pittsburgh.